Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Hope. I am working on my first book, and I think today I wanted to talk about motivation because that's something that I've been kind of struggling with, and I know I'm not alone. I've pulled up the definition of motivation, and I'll put it on the screen too. It says motivation is a person's drive to achieve their goals. It's a complex force that explains why people start, continue, or stop certain behaviors. Motivation is a key factor in human behavior and is studied by psychologists, neuroscientists, and philosophers. I think it's easy to assume that if you feel motivated, then you're doing the right thing, and if you don't feel motivated, then you're not doing the right thing. And I want to talk about why I don't necessarily believe that. Now, personally, for me, I absolutely love to read and to write, but you'd think loving those two things that I would be like dying to read or write at any given moment of the day, and that's not the case. I have my book pulled up here, and I'm sitting at 47,858 words. Um, at this moment, though, that word count just doesn't feel real. I don't know if I ever really thought that I would get to that word count. I set myself a goal of 50,000 words when I started, and I'm quickly learning that this 50,000 word count goal that I set for myself has actually become my minimum. I think obviously I'm really close to 50,000. My book is going to end up being more than 50,000, and 50,000 was felt like a reaching goal for me. I didn't really think that I would hit 50,000. So that with that being said, 50,000 was my goal, and that now that I'm almost at 48,000, there's a part of me that feels like I should be writing all day just to hit that 50,000. I'm so close, I could get it done. But in fact, there's some part of me that wants to not keep writing. Like there are moments where I think about writing and I'd like to write, yeah, but there's something in me that feels like me and my computer are like polar opposite forces on a magnet. Like I can't, and maybe it's just that fear of like being so close to being done with this draft. But I think that ties into motivation because I don't believe that it's that I'm not motivated, because writing is something that I love. But I think I heard somebody one time talking about motivation versus um, I can't remember. Now that I think about it, I can't remember. But it's just um, knowing that it's something you want to do and doing it because you know that you're going to want to do it. Like people use that for like going to the gym, and that's something that I have wanted to do as well, but getting myself to go to the gym every day is a struggle. Um, but I don't think that ties in necessarily to motivation as a whole. I do, it's just an interesting topic, and I think that a lot of people should talk about feeling motivated or feeling that lack of motivation a lot more, because I think, especially with these videos, it's so easy to just watch somebody's day in my life or Sunday reset or whatever and think that these people kind of have it all together, and that they're, going to the gym every day and they're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and um, cooking all meals of, that they consume and all of this other stuff. And I think there's got to be something like somewhere we need to be reminding ourselves that we're only seeing that video that's not like really their entire, like, their life. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling, but um I think I just wanted to mention my writing as one of my examples for like motivation, because there are a lot of like writing challenges out there which are really cool, like writing for 12 hours or writing for 24 hours. This is so embarrassing, but I literally filmed an entire video and my mic was dead. So I got none of the audio. I literally have videos where I'm talking, but you can't hear a single thing I'm saying, and that's so frustrating. But I'll try again, I guess. Finishing this book is my goal and something that I'm motivated to do, but if I'm not in the mood to write, I'm not going to force it, because I feel like with an art like this, it is super easy to see that and feel that when you're reading it, that they weren't like, they didn't want to be writing this. And if I'm not in the mood to write, I just won't force it. I will try to at least open my file once a day and like look through it. I usually just don't mind the beginning and I just scroll to where I'm at in my writing and I read through there. And there have been times where I didn't feel like I wanted to write, but opening that file and looking at my work and rereading like the last couple sentences I wrote had me fixing a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm writing for 30 minutes, and that was never my intention in the first place. So I think motivation is like a word that is confusing to some people, and I think that even I say, "Oh, I'm not motivated to write today," but in reality it's just I wasn't feeling it. Like I don't want to write right now, and I think that's okay. My brain is really hard on myself a lot of the time, so most of the time that I have free time to write and I don't write, I'm mad. Like my brain is just mad at myself for not taking advantage of that time to write, but I think it's important that I mention that I also do remind myself, and I do practice like self-care and reminding myself that I opened my file. That's better than not at all. Or I spent 2 hours writing, whether I got 500 words or more, that doesn't matter. I sat here and focused on it for 2 hours. Um there have been times that I like tracked my progress, so like and that was with word count, so I would like um post on my Instagram when and I'll link my Instagram, but when I reached certain goals, I would post about them word count wise. And I think that's a cool idea if word count is a positive thing for you. That did end up being a negative thing for me, so I kind of stopped. I do mention my word count every so often, but it's not like something I post about every time I hit like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever. Um, Lack of motivation is so easily mixed with like burnout, and I think that has to do with stress. And stress for me, I have been just going through a lot of changes recently, so I have been stressed, and I have just been trying to take the whole overarching like I don't have the desire to write with like a grain of salt, because there's a lot of things that have been happening, and that the fact that I'm still able to get my file opened and maybe even end up writing some in it, I think that is something that I need to congratulate myself on, because I don't really believe that um, it's a lack of motivation, if that makes sense. I also, one of the things I mentioned in the video, talking without a mic, I talked about this book, and if you haven't seen or heard of this, I really recommend this if you're trying to like write romance. This actually shows examples on like how to word things, how to describe um, here's an example how to describe. This is just negative expressions, and then it just lists different ways to write descriptively what a negative expression would look like. And this has actually helped me a lot. I spend a lot of my time like just flipping through this to get examples, and I highlight the ones that I like so I have like an idea of how I want to navigate and write the scene that I may be writing or struggling to write. Sorry, I had to check if the mic was still on. I don't want to have to do this. Go through with that again. I also mentioned a um, feeling that I've been feeling is yesterday when I was writing. I'm actually writing a scene where my FMC is feeling more like physical desire with my MMC, and um, I know how I want to write it and how I want to like word things, but I do have like a fear that just keeps coming up about like who will end up reading and what they might think. Or like I have an 11-year-old sister, and um I don't want to have to tell her that she can't read my book. um I made a joke that I would just black out the scenes that she can't read, but like I don't only feel that with like my little sister. I do feel that with like my grandma, or my parents don't really read, but if they were to read my book, I feel like I would want to like black that out for them too. But like I don't hear anybody talking about this feeling, so I don't really know how to navigate like how to just remind myself that it's my book and I can write how I want to write. It's just a weird feeling. um I did just change a little bit of like I um made my book double space so that I'd be able to edit it better when I print it. And now I'm sitting at like 140 pages. And I don't know, I just think that blows my mind. I don't think I ever really thought that I would get to where I'm at. And now that I am, I just, it doesn't feel like it's like really set in yet. And I feel like it's just, I don't know, I wish I could explain it in words, but I don't have the words to explain this feeling. It's just bizarre. That's all I got. Um, I talked about quite a few random things, and that's why I said this is probably for the best to like just refilm it anyway. But um, I did just randomly come up with the idea because usually in all my videos that I've posted, my cat Tiger is like super adamant of wanting to be involved. Like he just wants to be seen. And I know one of my friends, Ashley, loves when he pops up on the video. So I took a clip of him. I'll insert it here. Tiger the screen time before he even tries to like jump in to steal it from me. You have anything to say, Tiger? No meow? Tiger. Nothing. I honestly do not know what else I talked about. I did ramble a bit, but if you watched this video, thank you for watching. If you were new, thank you for taking the chance and clicking. Um, this was fun. I think it was a nice little just conversation. I am a little like bothered that I filmed the whole thing and the mic wasn't. I think the mic died, to be honest, but it's okay. All things happen for a reason. Um, if you liked, leave a like. If you thought of anything while I rambled on and on, leave a comment. Comments are so fun to look through. I really appreciate my loved ones that commented on my last video. That means a lot. And I was so excited to see those notifications. That meant a lot to me. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.